Ever watch a stock rocket 50% in a day and thought, wish I knew how to trade that? Or maybe you're crushing it in the Forex market but want to diversify. Well, I'm Money Mitch, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to take your Forex trading skills and apply them to the explosive world of stocks. The best part? You already know more than you think. Let's get it started. Understanding your new playground. It's so important, right? Let's start with what you're actually trading. In the Forex market, I'm sure you're familiar with the currency pairs, the Europe and the US dollar, or maybe it's the Great Britain and the Japan. But stocks, of course, you're buying pieces of actual companies. So let's think about it, right? Tesla just isn't a stock, it's electric cars, batteries, and of course, Elon's latest tweets, of course. And then let's think of Apple, right? It's just not a ticker, it's iPhones and services and brand power that you need to know of. Even smaller companies tell a story. Biotech firms working on breakthrough drugs are always something to understand, right? You need to know the story. So I have a question for you. Which company excites you the most? Drop it in the comments below and let's see if it's already on my watch list. So the stock market has some key differences, right, than Forex markets. Let's talk a little bit about them. First up, let's talk about multiple exchanges, right? You have the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ, right? There's multiple markets to look into. Then you got various sectors like tech, healthcare, energy. Maybe you're looking into consumer cyclicals, right? Then you got different market caps. You got small, mid, large, and even macro, right? Of course, now you're gonna have to get used to some new trading hours, your new schedule, right? You gotta say, first major change is gonna be say goodbye to those 3 a.m. trading sessions. Instead, here's your new schedule to look forward to. In the morning, how does it work? It starts with the pre-market. It starts at 4 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Of course, this is going to be times where there's lower volume, but big opportunities to maybe jump on a catalyst or maybe a big move that happened overnight and continuing in the morning. Then you got the regular hours, the 9:30 to 4 p.m. This is when the maximum liquidity happens, where the most trading happens, and it's perfect for the beginner trading. Of course, then you got your after hours from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. This is when you got to be watching for those earning moves, maybe a specific catalyst that comes out, maybe some guidance that moves the stock, right? The pro tip here, of course, is that most action happens in the first and the last hour of the regular trading session. And want to see why? Well, stick around for our Apple trade setup to learn a little bit more in our example. Let's get into the different types of stocks, right? So we'll take a look at how we can break down the trade, right? There's different types of names, right? There's growth stocks, right? These are your darlings in the market, right? You're talking your Tesla, right? Your Netflix. These have high potential, but higher risk, of course, right? They're based on a growth outlook and forward outlook, and they're often technology focused. Then you got your value stocks, right? Or they classify the defensive stocks, right? These established companies have regular dividends to try to help them continue to attract investors. Think Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, right? Or maybe even a Procter & Gamble, right? These companies aren't the sexy names, but that doesn't matter, right? What matters more is understanding that there's different stocks out there. There's penny stocks, right? These are what you hear all the financial gurus trading and trading up to 100% gainers, right? Well, these are under $5 per share, have that high volatility, and just a warning like always, guys, you got to be careful with these, and you might want to start looking at bigger companies. But we also have what's called ETFs, or exchange traded funds. These are going to be either, maybe it's a complete sector, an industry, or a theme, right? You can trade entire sectors. They're great for diversification and are perfect for the beginner trader, right? Let's take a quick poll here, guys. Are you guys looking at growth investing, or maybe you're a value seeker? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it and how you're approaching the markets. let's talk about the key differences, right? We're going to talk a little bit more about expanding here into the differences. The difference majorly starts with the leverage, right? If we talk about leverage for Forex, it can go crazy, up to 50 to 1, right? When stocks is usually what? A 2 to 1 outlook, right? So we're not getting that crazy leverage anymore, but that doesn't matter, right? Because the lower leverage might actually mean safer trades for beginners, right? And then we can talk about volatility, right? Individual stock moves. Of course, volatility is going to be going up and down. Sometimes it could get increased in sector-wide moves, right? Maybe specifically a catalyst in technology comes out, or sometimes you have market-wide moves. These are the macro moves where maybe the stocks are ripping because of presidential election, things like that. Then you got to understand volume analysis. This is very important. You can start taking a look to see what is going on, right? The pre-market importance, what's happening there, how much volume is trading in the morning. Then understanding what's going on in the regular session. Or is it trading, 10 million, 30 million, 3 times the volume? And then, of course, volume confirmation signals. You can start looking for kind of news impacts and how this shows up. Maybe you can look at earnings reports. Earnings reports are always going to be something that tells the story about a company. Then you got company announcements. You got SEC filings, 10Ks, 4Ks. So much to understand here and to unravel. And don't forget that social media can really move stocks. Yes, it really can, guys. Tons of names, right? Like Elon always moving Tesla with just a single tweet. Let's talk about the technical analysis mastery, right? Of course, you guys know it on the Forex game, right? Your Forex tools can actually shine here too, right? You guys have seen support and resistance. You guys understand price levels. And like always, start taking a look at moving averages to maybe look to see when the stocks are holding a different trend, right? Using trend lines, looking for breakouts, right? There's a bunch of different chart patterns that can show up in Forex, just like they show up in the stock world. Of course, breakouts work great in looking into flags and pennants. You got your head and shoulder patterns, right? These are going to be really interesting. The left, right shoulder, the head pattern. You got to be looking for these, right? This exists in the Forex just like they do in the stock world. You can look for key indicators, right? Like the RSI, the relative strength momentum indicator, right? This tells us what's going on, the momentum for the stock. Then you got the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence for trends. This tells us when stocks are starting to really take off. Bollinger Bands are great to tell us standard deviation and how far a stock should expand to the up and downside. Then, of course, we have the VWAP. This is relatively new, but a lot of traders are using it now. It's the volume weighted average price. It goes ahead and brings in here the price and the tick volume. So essentially, if it's trading higher on a lot of volume, the VWAP will actually skyrocket faster and stay closer to the price action, right? If it's trading on low volume but getting that big breakout, well, it could actually get away from the price action. A lot of times stocks have a tendency of retracing to the VWAP, so there's plenty of ways to play it, right? Let's talk about an actual example. So imagine this. Apple announces a new product and the stock breaks out of consolidation on heavy volume. You spot the breakout and ride it for a 10% gain. That's the action of applying the news catalyst and the power of applying your Forex skills to the stock world. Like always, you want to go ahead and build up a watch list. I do this by putting out consistently on our Twitter by doing something called the playbook. The playbook is just that, building that watch list, right? How do you find opportunities is going to be very important too, right? You can take a look at different scanners. You can look at stock leaders, right? Sector leaders, right? What's going on in a certain sector, right? Volume gainers, right? Technical setups. Maybe you're looking for flag patterns, right? There's different scanners that are going to give you this ability, but definitely you want to be looking for news catalysts and different tools to use, right? There's stock screeners that will help you find certain stocks that are moving in, let's say, the last 5 minutes, Or maybe you're looking for financial news. I'm sure you guys have seen CNBC, Fox News, and different sources out there. And then, of course, social media sentiment is very important. Like we know in the crypto space, right? When crypto starts getting hot, everyone starts looking for those miners to run, or maybe it's the quantum names that have been talked about recently. Of course, your earnings calendar are going to tell you when stocks perform and let you know, hey, are they beating their earnings per share? What are they doing there? How their revenue outlook is? And don't forget, of course, they put out 4 of these a year. It's so important to understand when your stock is going to come up for earnings. A lot of stocks have a tendency of running into earnings and then the report comes. So I challenge you guys, right? Find one stock today to add it to your watch list or playbook, as I like to call it, and comment below. Share with me what caught your eye. I'll be looking for some different trades out there. Let's keep it going. Let's talk a little bit more about risk management evolution and what you need to be doing there. Like always, when you're getting into a new market, there's going to be some new rules that you need to be sticking upon, right? And number one thing is always risk management, right? So let's talk about it, right? Position sizing is going to be a little bit different than the Forex, right? You're going to start smaller than Forex, right? Scale gradually up, right? Because it's not just about taking big home runs. It's about taking some base hits to understand how the stock market works. Account for gaps also. Sometimes the stock will close here and then open up here. That gap is very important in your trading. You got stop losses, right? Where do I want to get out of a trade, right? And in this case, for the stock market, it might need to be wider. It might need to account for some more volatility. It might need to look into the pre-market gap to see if that's going to get filled first and then the move go higher. The risk per trade is always important. I talk about this also with risk versus reward, as it's so important, right? Maximum maybe 1% rule could help you. Maybe learning also some scaling in techniques is so important, right? Because this is how you go ahead and push to the next level, right? I always talk about it as taking a little bit and a little bit and then taking that home run swing, right? You want to learn how to average up or maybe average down, right? What's better, what's not. It really is all about your strategy. But like always, when we're in winning positions and we go to add, we're averaging up. When we're losing ones, we're averaging down. And that can go ahead and get you closer to the price action, potentially getting you into the green, right? So how do you currently manage risk in Forex? Let's adapt that for stocks and learn how we can get after it. Let's start with creating a trading plan. This is going to be very vital for your success, and it's all about a daily routine. Build this up, guys, because the more that you have this daily routine, it's going to help you find success. Your pre-market preparation, so vital, right? What stocks are moving? Why are they moving? Is there a catalyst out there, right? Is there a specific theme you're looking for in the trading session? This is so important to focus on. Then, of course, your end-of-day review can be very vital for your success. If you don't do the end-of-the-day review, how are you going to catch yourself on what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong? This is what trading truly is all about, because we can all take one trade, but if we can't create that processed approach to actually catch our mistakes and make improvements, then guess what? There's no reason to continue because you're not going to find that success. You got to do the hard work, right? The weekend analysis, looking into your data, what patterns are working, what's not working. This is so important. So many times I ask a trader, hey, you trade this pattern, how often does it work for you? They don't have an answer for me. If you don't have an answer for me, you're not doing the analysis that's needed to find success. So like always, you got to document everything. Data, 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 guys. I talk about it all the time. If you're not taking your data, you're doing things wrong. You want to know your entry reasons. Why you're getting into something is so vital. The psychology behind it, right? Exit points. When am I getting out? Am I getting out on strength, weakness? Did I get scared in the position? What worked and what didn't, right? These are going to be your defining factors between a successful trader and a failing trader, right? We all don't want to be in that failure side, but we all need to be taking a look at what we're doing to improve. So now that you have this blueprint, it's really time to put it into action. Start watching our next videos in the series to dive deeper into stock selection and analysis, and get ready to take that leap. Hit the like button and subscribe below. Let's make your transition from Forex to stock a success. Looking forward to seeing it.